Well, our morning talker today comes to us from Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, where reports are surfacing that Jerry Sandusky's retirement and pension package will go on.
Yep, and now while his retirement package was revoked by the university a few days ago, the school says it has no control over his pension and the convicted child abuser will continue to receive it. Despite being in prison, Sandusky will still be collecting nearly $5,000 a month through his pension from taxpayers. Is this fair? I think that's a pretty obvious answer, but unfortunately there's a lot of red tape around it.
I bet there is. Yeah, it's probably not fair, but I bet there are legal reasons why they can't take this, away from him.
And unfortunately, with these type of things, there's so much red tape, legalities. Yeah. It's pretty hard to break, and I'm sure they will try to challenge it, though, because certainly I don't think this sits well with many people.
Probably a lot of that going to his legal funds right now.
Possibly his family as well.
Right.
So.
Well, Jared is in the Interactive Center. Good morning there, Jared.
Good morning, guys. I want to get you a little bit more background about this, some kind of numbers to go along with what we were talking about. The pension package is untouchable, $5,000 a month. There's a lot of corporate red tape around that. Meanwhile, the retirement package was kind of a separate issue in all of this. And in fact, when he retired in 1999, he agreed to the lump sum payout, similar to what GM is going through right now with some of the workers here in Michigan. Do they take the retirement over time, or do they take the lump sum? Well, Jerry decided to take the lump sum, which at the time was $168,000. He received, after taxes and other deductions, just over $110,000 of that shortly after he accepted the retirement package just before the turn of the last century. And that money is unable to get back. Now, we don't know what Jerry's done with that money, but over $110,000 he did receive, and in addition, he will continue to get his pension. So obviously, we're asking our Facebook fans this morning, is it fair, and what are some of the things you'd like to do with that money? And you can see here on our website, we provided a lot more information about this, and in fact, I also provided a link to a Daily Collegian story, and this was the student-run newspaper, which is independent from the school itself. This was the paper that I used to read every morning before I went in for my morning classes. Meanwhile, on Facebook, we've gotten some good comments. I'm going to read one here right off the top. Tina, a very good comment. His pension should pay for his bare necessities in prison, and the rest should go back to the taxpayers. Of course, the taxpayers do pay for federal prison expenses and all those expenses that go along with housing somebody in prison. And we'll get to some of the more comments throughout later in the show. We also got a couple of tweets as well. But interesting stuff this morning. And of course, the word fair, obviously he's in jail, so he's not going to be using this money. And we don't know exactly where the money is going to now that he receives every month, because it's not going to be going directly to him, because you're not allowed to receive money in prison. It might go to his family. We're not really sure exactly where that money goes, guys.